Hello, big time greetings to all who may be concerned or interested, intrigued. Hello to all. For you today, I have a little bit of a hodgepodge of a Yu-Gi-Oh video, a locals report, a deck profile, a little bit of a show off. But as you can see, it was the Legacy of Destruction pre-release weekend in the tournament scene that I live in. And my little brother's going to one today. I went to one yesterday. And I'm just gonna go over some of my prizing, these packs here. Not gonna open these, don't matter. We got, when you do a pre-release, you get entry packs from the latest set, as well as your OTS entry pack. From these, I got some pretty cool cards, I would think. The Goblin Biker thing, the new Marshmallow, and some cool Ashen stuff. I got that Spear guy, and the new Vados Fusion. I'm gonna try and get a decent resolution image of them, if that's even possible for you, because it's very difficult to get that. But yeah, I think Ashen is going to be a fun deck, more so than a good deck. That's just my opinion. Until they add the infamous dodge mechanic to the deck that Dark Souls has. As well, when you enter a pre-release event, you get a super cool field center from the newest set, like the box art. So I've got the mat here and the field center. It's pretty cool. From my OTS packs that I didn't even need to open, I can show you this enemy controller that's kind of got pretty whack foiling. It's not really popping out the best, but very subtle. But the texturing on this Big Welcome Labyrinth that a buddy of mine pulled and gave to me is very good. Always gotta like the nice texture cards. Saying all this the way I'm saying it because I want this video to be more approachable to new players. People that like this is your maybe first or second time going to a locals or picking up this deck that I'm about to show off. You want some different interesting theories, different things to go on. So here, let's go with the deck. I've got, oh, I just dropped the card. Got 2 Bonfire, got 2 Poplar, got a OG Simple Spoils. I've got 2 of the Temple. Sneaky Subversion Snake Eyes. Not even playing this. I'm just joking around. I'm pulling your leg. I don't even like playing this deck. It's too complex. Too much little stuff happening. Instead, I'm showing you off my favorite deck, best deck, Branded. If you want to get the women's, you play the Branded. So for you in my profile, I've got 3 Albaz, our boy. Albion, our boy is a dragon. 2 Ecclesia, or Cartesia, sorry, our boy's girl. We got a Luber, 3 of him. Our boy's boy, a Quem. Our boy's girl. We have our Bestials, Lubellion and Sorinir. Our boy is a dragon. Our boy's boy is a dragon. And Sorinir, when I started playing Branded, I literally slept on this card. Like, I woke up one morning, or I went to go to bed one night. It was literally Sorinir waiting for me in my bed after the locals. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll try it out. I'll play it. Literally the most important bestial to the Branded package. If you're not playing Branded, play Druis Worm, play Magnamut. If you are playing Branded, you have to play this bestial over any other one. He facilitates so much. He is so important. We have the little mechanical bird, Mercurier. We have our Despian Juggalo homies here, Ad Libitum and Tragedy. And we've got the two bricks, the Gimmick Puppet and the Dark Magician. So that is kind of the main monster line. It's pretty basic, but I'm gonna be hoping to say some things, or it'll come out a little bit with the spell cards and some of the other cards. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of like new player strategy and reminders to keep you up to date. For hand traps, I've got one ash, or two ashes, one nib, and that's it for monster hand traps. We'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about the side deck. Spell cards. Best green card in the entire game, Branded Fusion. You want to play as many of these as you are legally allowed to play. A really good green card for you, the branded player, is Branded Opening. It's just what it sounds like. It's your opening card. It gets your stuff rolling. The reason it's a quick play is you want to play this in the draw phase. Don't even go to the like standby. Play it in the draw phase, because then you laugh at draw. I don't entirely remember how Thunder Dragon Colossus is worded, if he cares about the draw phase or if it's just fucking draw cards from your deck. 3 fusion deployment. That gets... Where is she? That gets her rolling. And it also gets some cheesy plays with him rolling. You can use this to either directly special her, or if she's in your hand, you can do it to special him, avoid his effect, then special her from your hand. So you do that before you do your branded fusion plays, it's a lot more secure. That's the type of tip they don't want to give you, because a lot of people are afraid, if you give out these tips, people will know. Well, I'm assuming you are a new player, just sitting down learning this deck like I was 6-7 months ago, and other people know these combos better than you do. Your opponent knows what you're about to do before you do. So I'm trying to give you some knowledge, give you some background, give you something to let go on. Branded in red is a very important card. I've thought of playing 2 of it. It's very good. Branded Lost. You need to look up the rulings of this card. If you are new to this deck, you need to be aware of what this card does. Branded Regained is a lot simpler card, but it's important. You, in my opinion, should play 2 of these continuous branded spells because of Bestial Lubellion. There's a lot of times where you'll get one of these in your hand, so you can't set it directly from your deck. So Lubellion then loses a lot of value. It's like, if you only have one, if you only play Lost and you don't play Regained, you almost might as well cut Lubellion. Like, you do get a lot out of them, but you almost might as well. Tech cards. We have the 3 Super Poly. I'm gonna give a lot of cards like a minute or 2 to talk about and their use. This is a card that I've thought about cutting, siding, not even playing, maining. You want to main this card. This and this is powerful. This is power. I'll show you the motion. I'll show you the motion. You set, activate. Just like that. Then you can fuse your Albaz with literally whatever your opponent made that's giving you trouble. Because they can't respond. They can't respond. And then if you have Lost on the field, the they can't respond window goes as long as what they had for you to fuse off. The best card that we want at more than one, Called by the Grave. I really want to get a QCR of that. Since it's only at one, we play 3 cross-out designators. That's why there was the 1 nib, that's why there was the 2 ash. We'll get to other cards in a bit. This is very powerful in certain situations. In the mirror match, this is powerful. In going first blindly after winning the dice roll, this is better. Just better. Because it's a quick play. You can use it on your opponent's turn. That's it. Like, it's just better. Like, I don't want to break it all down. I'll get into the cross-out versus thrust breakdown when I get into the side deck. These 2 cards, Gold Sark and Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is very good, but I'll talk about it when I get to the side deck. Gold Sark. Oh baby, this is like especially good for different reasons. Where is it? We got these 2. You get Gold Sark to banish either of these. You get whatever you want. You get either your Aluber, your Quam, your Adlib, whatever Despian you need for the situation. Or you get your Albion, your Albaz, your Cartesia, whatever monster you need for the situation. Or whatever Albaz monster you need. Get a Despian monster, get an Albaz monster. It's pretty good. I would say this is a main. If you could play more, you would. That's why a lot of people play Foolish. But if your opponent drops the shifter, then there comes like a question with the Foolish. It's like, I don't know if you can activate that or resolve it properly. That being said, if you are 100% sure they don't have Foolish, it also sets up fusion plays. Trap cards. 3 infinite impermanence. This is the only one I play at 3. For the cross out, for the hand trap aspect, and for the fact that if you set it in a zone with a continuous spell, that continuous spell is screwed. And you can also get unmindful players to activate cards in the column that you already negated. So this is multi-hitting, play it at 3. I love this card. Retribution. This is a card that you should always include in your deck. Never cut this card, never side it out. One time I sided this card out on like impulse, and I didn't realize it until I went to search it. I pretty much immediately scooped right after that. That was it for that game. So never get rid of this card. Ever. It's just too good. In the extra deck, we have a kind of mixed match pile of cards here, because I didn't organize it before this video, but it's smaller than the deck, so that's good. We have a single copy of Mirror-jade, our Ice Blade Black Air Force Energy. We have 2 Grand Guignol, the Girl's Dragon. We have 1 Sanctifier Dragon. We have a Chimera. We have a Dark Dragoon. We have a Dracostapelia. We have Querdis, Rinbrum, and 2 Albions, 1 Titaniclad, 1 Sprint, and 1 Lubellion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Garura's supposed to be in here. I don't know where he is. So, yeah, Garura's supposed to be in here. That's fucked up. Maybe I dropped it. Or maybe it's stuck to... Oh, yeah, he's right there. He's stuck to the back of Dracostapelia where he belongs. Okay, so these 2 obvious super poly targets. But... Grand Guignol can send Garura when you make Lubellion and activate his effect. Or sorry, when you do Albion, you can fuse them together. It'll send Garura, or at some point. No, I'm getting that combo line messed up. Just forget I said all that. But if you play Albion, or Aluber, it's Aluber. If you normal Aluber with Cartesia on board, one of them 2 gets impermed. You can quick effect fuse the Aluber and the Cartesia into Grand Guignol. And Grand Guignol can send Garura. You get the draw, you get a dark monster, and you get a fusion monster. So you get your materials for Lubellion and Mirror-jade covered. You also get that draw. So it's little sneaky plays like that that a lot of people won't like tell you because they're not optimal all the time, but they're optimal for the situation. Sometimes you need that draw. Sometimes you don't like what you have in your hand. Mirror-jade. He is the boss. Like, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's Black Air Force energy in a card. There's a lot of things you got to keep in mind with this guy, though. If someone drops a shifter on you, he is basically a 3,000 attack when this card's removed from the field nuke. You can't activate his effect because you can't send the card to the graveyard. It will get, because of shifter. You can't send the card to the graveyard, it'll get banished. So you can't activate Mirror-jade. You follow? That's why you kind of have to play Dragoon, so that you have an option under that shifter. Rinbrum also helps under that shifter, but a lot more people are more intimidated by that Dragoon. Chimera is really good for reasons beyond just Chimera. But we'll get into that with Mirror-jade here. So Mirror-jade, I went and bought this token specifically to play with Mirror-jade. It's got 2 sides, it's like a nuke, kill them all, and his effect. So as soon as he hits the field, I plop that on him. When I activate it, I flip it. And so keep that in mind. You use this, you flip it on your next turn, then you remove it. Then it's live. That's how that makes sense with Mirror-jade. So you use the effect, that next turn, take it off. Now he's live again. Anything like that, that'll help you. As well, you gotta always remember to resolve his end phase effect. Because I forgot to yesterday, and it really bit me in the butt. So, keep that on the field. If he was fusion summoned and left because of something your opponent did, keep it in eyesight so that you remember to resolve it. Because it bites when you don't. You might be wondering what these other coins are for. And because if you're starting, or sometimes it's kind of hard to keep track, you're tired, these to me represent chain orders. So you can do the same thing with dice. You don't need to get stupid special coins like I have, but we'll say like a fusion effect is chain 1, something else is chain 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Sometimes you can get up to chain 7 with this deck, as well as being completely uninterruptible by your opponent. And this is not the video to explain that. This is kind of like a basic video for starters. And my basic deck profile. If you already know how to play branded, you probably know why a lot of these cards are in here. I'll stick Chimera out to the side though. And Mirror-jade. And Albion. Of course I'm running Albion the Sanctifier Dragon because I like the gimmick puppet lock. I've taken a different mentality to it. It's like all my friends that used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And now they're kind of scared off of it. It's kind of like they're dual spirits, twisted and morphed into a unholy abomination that I'm gonna sick on my opponent for karma. So in terms of Grand Wignall as well, I just forgot, but I just remembered. A lot of people are of the opinion that should I play 1 or 2? Is 1 mandatory, is 2 mandatory? In my opinion, you should play as many Grand Wignalls as you have Cartesias. This also goes back to why I play 3 branded fusion and 3 Albaz. You want as many branded fusions as you have Albaz. You want as many Albaz as you play branded fusions. When most people talk about like the branded engine, they're talking about like bare bones. That and that. That's what they mean when they say the branded engine. That, and him. That's all they're talking about. But you can go so much further. Because when you play this, send this, he gets banished, he's in your grave, he's not accessible, these become bricks. That's the type of mindset that a lot of people need to get into when they're learning this game. Don't just splash an engine in, understand the engine. This is going into my side deck. I got 2 thrust. I got 2 more nip. 2 droll. And another ash. This is all going back to what I was saying, my controversial deck theory with branded around crossout is. We in branded, if you watch other deck profiles, other deck building videos, they play this card as a going first card. As you are relying on your opponent to play the ash or the whatever on your branded fusion. You're trusting your opponent to stop your main play. Philosophically, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I said this in going second. When I know or believe in my heart of hearts I'm going second, when I just won the first round with a gimmick puppet luck and the opponent wants to set something up first, that's when I'll put this in. I'll even take the puppet out. I'll take out the crossouts because, like, that goes back to these other hand traps. Certain decks fold to certain hand traps harder than others. Take Branded for an example. You play a Droll and Lockbird on us, I'm laugh at you. Just like I said to you, I explained to you already a line to dodge Droll and Lockbird earlier in this video. Nib crushes a lot of boards now that Baron's banned, and Ash is still one of the best hand traps in the game, in my opinion. We will not remove any of the imperms. We'll keep those in the deck, always. But we'll splash and change some of these around as we need them. And we'll put this in going second. Another good card for going second is our Spell and Trap lineup. Our 2 Cosmics and our 1 Feather Duster. It's kind of a good thing that Feather Duster's a 1, because if you draw the 1 and you play it, it's kind of redundant to have another one. So, kind of big ups to the ban list on that. Cyclone. Why am I playing it at 2? Just fucking extra deck space. I only got 2 cool ones that I want to play, whatever. Also got 2 Santa Claus, because sometimes you just need that kaiju. In Archetype Goo, the Black Goat laughs. If you get to 3rd round and you successfully resolve this card, the only reason you lose is just your opponent's better. And what I mean is, if you resolve this card in the 3rd round, you've had 2 rounds already to see your opponent's main combo lines. You follow? Like, you already know what their boss is, you already know what their important cards are, and you already know what to stop and what to not let them get to. This is the card you need to set if you are going first in round 3. Or if you have that knowledge, going first in round 2. This card is busted. And that's all I gotta say. Just Google Black Goat Laughs, read the effect. It does so much. It does a lot. It won me a round or 2 yesterday. I'm not going to say it's a card that wins games, because games go like 2 or 3 rounds. And it's a card meant for the final round. So that's the deck profile. And I'm also going to go over some basic tips that the last couple minutes I'm going to use for this video. If you're new to this deck, remember to resolve your end phase triggers, because you'll probably forget them. I know I forgot them for a long time. There's lots of different triggers that happen. 3 main ones you want to know, 3 main cards you need to always keep in mind. Write them on the back of your hand. Metal Gear Solid reference, boss. Remember your CQB. Your cart, your quem, and your branded lost. You could also say in a different way, remember your CQD, your cart, your quem, and your despians. In the end phase, you want to make sure a despian's in your graveyard so you can have branded and let red live. In any phase, you want to remember that whenever a card leaves the extra deck once per turn, you can revive any monster that has been properly summoned, that's a fusion, or any other monster, from your graveyard. She revives it and special summons it. So, something to keep in mind is you can special summon this Cartesia, and then in the next chain, quick effect, fuse it off again. Dump your Despian, level 6, your ad libitum, and then your branded and reds live. And what that will do into this other tip is it will get you to be able to resolve Mirror-jade several times. I'm gonna keep these here. I'm gonna get my branded in red, and I'm going to get my ad libitum. So we got these guys. We have Brand Lost. We have them in the graveyard. And we'll say we have access to our second copy of Grand Guignol. I'll even throw one of them in the graveyard just to simulate. Because this is a situation that happens. You activate your Mirror-jade. Send whatever. Chain to your Cartesia to fuse with it. Make your Grand Guignol. Grand Guignol will send ad libitum if you don't have it. If you do have it, it'll send like whatever the hell else you want. Quem triggers. Special summons back your Mirror-jade. It can use its effect again because its effect says this card. Technically, when it leaves the field and come back, it becomes a different card. It's a different Mirror-jade. He's a new man, but he wasn't fusion summoned. So you don't get to nuke the board when he leaves the field anymore. That effect is gone. But you get to resolve that again, his banish effect. So now we'll play under our safety of Branded Lost, or you could even just do it like this. You could play Branded in red, get your ad libitum, fuse this, this, and this. You don't normally want to banish that, but this is just an example. Make your Chimera. You have one card in hand, two on the field, pop two, draw one, whatever. I don't have the deck laid out, obviously. But the key point here, why Chimera is important, you don't care if Chimera resolves. You want ad libitum to resolve. So he'll get your Mirror-jade back on the field. Again. So those are the types of things that you got to keep in mind while you're playing this deck, is that you have a lot of different varieties of options. You can do a lot of different things on your turn and your opponent's turn. And you have a lot of trigger effects that will enhance the way that the game goes, and enhance the way that you play this deck. So I hope you enjoyed the profile. I hope you enjoyed some of the basic plays. I hope that you had fun watching. And I hope you enjoyed everything about your day so far as well. Peace out.